And hey everybody, welcome to another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Now, as we're posting this, it is Thursday, so hopefully you'll be watching this before the race this Sunday if you're a NASCAR fan, because on this video we're going to be talking about NASCAR because I'm a huge NASCAR fan. Now, it all goes back to 1996, shortly after my mom and stepdad got married. I was 12 years old and we went down to my stepdad's mama's house to eat lunch, and her husband was watching the race, and about 10 minutes into it, I was hooked. Now, before I watched it, I always thought, like everybody else does, that it's a bunch of guys going around in circles. I'm not watching that. But then when I watched it, I realized that there was so much more to it than just that, and I've been hooked ever since then. Now, there's been some changes, of course, along the way, but it's still mainly, basically, for the most part, everything has stayed the same. Now, this Sunday, they're going to be racing at Phoenix. This will be the 5th race of the 2021 NASCAR season. And so far, we've had 4 different winners in the 4 races. Of course, we've had Michael McDowell and Christopher Bell won his very first race. So back-to-back weeks, you had Michael McDowell win his first race, and then you had Christopher Bell win his first race. And then 2 weeks ago, you had William Byron winning. And then, of course, this past Sunday at Las Vegas, you had Kyle Larson winning his first race back from his suspension. This Sunday, they're going to be at Phoenix, and Brad Keselowski is on the pole. So will we have our 5th winner in 5 races, or will we have our first 2-time winner of the season? And if we have our first 2-time winner of the season, who will it be? Me personally, I believe they're at Phoenix. Kevin Harvick has always dominated at Phoenix, so I believe he's probably the man that'll win this Sunday unless he's involved in an accident or has a bad engine blow up or some kind of failure, because Kevin Harvick always dominates at Phoenix. I don't see a reason to predict anything except for Kevin Harvick winning. But then again, I could be wrong. I'm very excited about this NASCAR season. This is probably the most excited I've been for a season in a long time, and I'm not really sure why I'm so excited about it. It might just be that the schedule is so much different this year, because I've always thought that was the one thing that hurt NASCAR, was that they just always, every single year, the schedule was the same. It was always the same races, the same weekends every year. And I've always felt like NASCAR should be like other sports and change it up some and not go to the same venue the same weekend every year. And then last year they changed the schedule up some, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And they've changed it up even more this year. And I'm actually very glad they did, because so far I think it's been a very huge success. And of course, coming up in 2 weeks will be the first NASCAR dirt track race in many years. So hopefully it will be a big, huge success. But again, I'm going with Kevin Harvick winning this upcoming Sunday. And it's only 4 races into the season, so I couldn't do a preseason preview because we just started the page on Tuesday, so I wasn't on here before the season started. So I wanted to go ahead and do it before it got too late. But I'm going to go ahead and say that not only does Kevin Harvick win this Sunday, but I also believe Kevin Harvick will win his 2nd Cup championship this year. And of course, he is about 45 years old now. So if he does win it this year, it'll probably be his last, unless he plans on racing for 4 or 5 more years. He hasn't shown any signs of slowing down. So he may race another 4 or 5 years. But most guys, once they get in their late 40s, they start slowing down some. But he hasn't slowed down any and hasn't said he's retiring anytime soon. So he may race till he's 50. He may be the Tom Brady of NASCAR. But I believe that Kevin Harvick will win his 2nd championship this year. But I want to know who all out there is a NASCAR fan to go along with me, because, you know, NASCAR basically is almost a year-round sport. So I need some NASCAR fans out there to get on and like and comment and share and subscribe to the page so we can have NASCAR talk all year long throughout the year. And again, coming up in a couple of weeks, we'll be talking about the NCAA March Madness tournament, but I wanted to get on here for a while and talk some NASCAR because, like I said, I'm so excited about the upcoming season. I believe this Sunday's race is going to be a very big race. Also, I want to know if anybody out there has any thoughts on Clint Bowyer. I was kind of skeptical at first about Clint Bowyer becoming a commentator because he's always seemed a little far-fetched and a little too goofy to be a commentator. But I actually have been thoroughly impressed, and I think he's done a really good job along with Mike Joy and Jeff Gordon. I think Mike Joy and Jeff Gordon are phenomenal. But, you know, two guys in 1 4-hour race, sometimes longer, that can be kind of hard. So even though I think Mike Joy and Jeff Gordon are phenomenal, I've always thought they needed somebody to help them out, so they ain't got to talk amongst themselves for that long, especially when there's a rain delay. So I'm glad they've got Clint Bowyer on board, and I think those three guys are doing an exceptional job. Coming up here in a few weeks, we'll talk about Tony Stewart's new racing league that he has going. I know that Tony Stewart's going to be in it, and Michael Waltrip's going to be in it, and Bobby Labonte's going to be in it, and Bill Elliott's going to be in it, and a couple other guys I can't think of right now are going to be in it. So it should be good, and I think it starts, I believe it starts this summer, but I could be wrong. I'd have to find the schedule and look at it, but it's supposed to be the modern-day IROC. So if you're out there watching and you're an IROC fan, you should like this new Tony Stewart Racing Experience League that he has coming up here in a couple of months. But again, thank you so much to all the people that have subscribed so far. We greatly appreciate it. And stay tuned because we are going on vacation coming up here in a few weeks, and we'll be posting some vacation videos on here, some of the great things that we do as a family while we're on vacation. And also, we should be on here in a few days drinking some weird and crazy drinks, and we want everybody to please stay tuned for that. Please watch it and tell your friends. If you know anybody that likes sports, please tell them to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And again, like I said the other day when we started this page, we just want this to be a clean, family-friendly, trash-talking YouTube page. We don't want to bash anybody, not talk about anybody, not down anybody. That's not what we're about. We're a good, clean family, and we like to have fun. But I love sports, and that's why most of the videos are just going to be me talking sports. Now, the studio that we're using is not quite 100% ready. When we get it ready, I'll have my wife come in here and we'll hold the camera up and we'll zoom around the room and show everybody what we have in here. But there's still a few things that we're waiting on, and when we get those things, we'll show everybody the room, but not until then. Until then, it's going to be a surprise, and we're going to leave you in suspense as to what all is in this room. But when we get it, we'll make sure we show everybody what we have. But again, if you're a NASCAR fan, please feel free to comment. Let me know who your favorite driver is. Who do you think is going to win this Sunday, and who do you think will win the Cup Championship this year? And also, if you have any thoughts at all on, if you've been a long time NASCAR fan, do you like the stage racing or do you not? Me personally, it doesn't bother me one way or the other. I mean, it really doesn't. The concept is the same. You start at lap 1, you go around the track until you're done, and you stop. So the concept is no different. So really, honestly, to me, it really doesn't make a difference. I think it actually improves the racing, because there's sometimes you watch a race, especially at some of the tracks like Loudon and California and Pocono that have a history of having long green runs. The leader can just get out there and it's no longer racing. It becomes NASCAR following, because it's just a bunch of guys going around the track in circles chasing the leader who's half a lap ahead of them. And to me, that's just not entertaining at all. So at least the stage racing brings the field back together. I remember one year, I believe it was Loudon in 2001, I think it was, Jeff Burton in the 99 car won the pole and led all 301 laps. And I watched the whole race, but it was one of the most boring races I've ever watched. And it wasn't Jeff Burton's fault. I was a Jeff Burton fan. It was just he had the pole. There was very few cautions, if any, and he had such a big lead that there was just no way for anybody to catch him. And to me, that's just not entertaining. So at least with the stage racing, it brings the field back together, which gives more opportunities for the leader to get past and more opportunities for side-by-side racing, which is what racing is supposed to be about. But I do know the new fans love the stage racing. The old school fans hate the stage racing. So I was just wondering if anybody had any comments on whether they think it's better or worse or indifferent. Because like I said, to me, I'm not going to start watching NASCAR because they had the stage racing, but I'm not going to quit watching NASCAR because they have the stage racing. I'm not going to like it any better one way or the other. I'll watch it whether they have it or not. It doesn't matter to me. I was just wondering if anybody has any thoughts or comments on whether or not you think it's better for the sport or worse for the sport, or if you're like me and you just think it's indifferent and doesn't really matter one way or the other. But until next time, it's Ref Brandon reminding you, just like in professional wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. So find your friends, find your loved ones, let them know how much they mean to you. Until next time, we hope everybody has a great day.